The sun was sinking behind the mountains of New Mexico, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. On the edge of the wide desert stood an old wooden ranch, weather-beaten but still strong. Inside lived Thomas Callahan, a man in his late 50s, rugged and silent, a cowboy who had seen more loss than joy in his lifetime. 17 years ago, his life had changed forever when he stumbled upon two little Apache girls, barely 7 and 9. Wandering alone in the wilderness after a raid had wiped out their village. Their dark eyes were filled with fear, their clothes torn, and their small hands clung to each other as if the world might tear them apart too. Thomas had no family of his own. His wife had died young, and the child they had dreamed of never came. When he saw the two sisters, he felt something stir in him, a responsibility, almost fatherly, yet deeper than he could understand at the time. He brought them home. He fed them, clothed them, and gave them names that would blend into the white man's world, Elena and Mariah. But in his heart, he never stripped them of who they were. He let them braid their hair in Apache style, sing their native songs at night, and dance under the moon when they felt like it. For years, the three of them lived quietly on the ranch. Thomas taught them how to ride horses, mend fences, and shoot a rifle. In return, they filled his lonely life with laughter, warmth, and meaning. The girls loved him fiercely, trusting him more than anyone else in the world. But the world was not kind to Apache children raised by a white rancher. One day, officials from the Indian Bureau came and took the girls away. They said it was for their future, that they would be raised in a mission school, taught English, and given a civilized life. Thomas had fought a god, how he had fought, but he was just one man. The law and the soldiers were stronger. He remembered the last time he saw them, crying and reaching out from the back of a wagon, their small hands trembling in the air as he ran behind them, powerless. That night, Thomas drank until the stars blurred, and from that day forward, the ranch was silent once more. 17 years passed. Seasons changed. His hair turned gray. He lived like a ghost. His only company the cattle, the wind, and the memory of two little girls who had once called him Papa. It was a warm evening when he heard the knock on his door. Surprised since no one came out this far, he opened it, and there they were. Two women, grown now, stood before him. Their faces bore the strength of Apache women, but their eyes, those same dark eyes, took him back to the past. Elena, Mariah, he whispered, his voice breaking. Thomas, Elena said softly. She didn't call him Papa this time, but the warmth in her tone was enough to pierce his heart. The three of them stood there, silent, overwhelmed by the weight of years. Then Thomas stepped aside, and they walked in. Inside the old wooden house, memories stirred. The girls looked at the furniture, the fireplace, the rocking chair where he used to read to them. Tears brimmed in Mariah's eyes. "We never forgot you," she whispered. "They tried to take everything Apache from USA Broken Bar, but we never forgot you." That night, they cooked together, laughed, and shared stories. The sisters told him about the harsh years in the mission school, how they were beaten for speaking their language, how they were forced to pray to a god they did not understand, how they secretly sang Apache songs at night just to keep their spirit alive. Thomas listened with a heavy heart. "I failed you," he said at last. "I should have fought harder. I should have ya." Elena reached across the table and touched his rough hand. "No, Thomas, you saved us. If not for you, we would have died in the desert. We owe you our lives." The room was quiet. After that, the fire crackled softly, shadows dancing on the wooden walls. Later, when the stars filled the night sky, the sisters lingered close to him. There was no fear now, only a deep bond that went beyond words. The years apart had not destroyed what they once shared, it had only made it stronger. Mariah rested her head on his shoulder. "Do you know, Thomas," she whispered, "all those years, we dreamed of this ranch, of coming back, of being with you again." His heart pounded. He had raised them like daughters, but now, looking into their eyes, he felt something more complex, something both forbidden and undeniable. They were women now, with their own choices, their own desires. Elena moved closer, her breath warm on his cheek. "We are not little girls anymore. We came back because a broken bar. We chose you." Thomas trembled. "He's a broken bar. This isn't right." But Elena shook her head. "The world never cared about what was right for us. They took us away, tried to erase us. But here, with you, we are whole again. Let us belong where we always have you by your side." The firelight flickered as the night deepened. Outside, the desert winds whispered through the canyon, carrying with them the eternal spirit of the land. Inside, the three souls who had once been torn apart were finally reunited. They spent the night together, not as father and daughters, not as rescuer and rescued, but as equals, bound by love, memory, and a longing that had lasted nearly 2 decades. When morning came, Thomas stepped out onto the porch, the sun rising over the horizon. Elena and Mariah stood beside him, their hair catching the golden light. For the first time in years, Thomas felt alive again, not haunted by loneliness but filled with hope. "Will you stay?" he asked, almost afraid of the answer. Elena smiled. "We left once against our will. We will not leave again." Mariah nodded. "This is our home, and you are our home." The old ranch, once silent, now pulsed with life again. And though the world outside might never understand, Thomas knew one thing with certainty: love, in whatever form it takes, is never wrong when it heals broken souls. And so, 17 years after fate tore them apart, the Apache sisters returned, and in one night, they gave back to Thomas the family, the love, and the life he thought he had lost forever.